What's up, guys? We're here with another day, a full slate of NBA action here on Friday, December 12th. We've got a big slate of games to break down on the NBA side. I'll give you my favorite picks on the side and over-under. We've got Gimli the Corgi in here ready to listen to this video. He gets before you guys even get it. We're going to look at some player props here for the NBA as well. We're going to look at the biggest NCAA basketball games on the slate, so buckle up. We've got a great video for you here today. Do me a big favor, slam that like button. Our like numbers have been declining. If we can get to 500 likes on this video, not too hard. We're gonna get around 10,000 views. Usually, we should be able to get 500 likes. I don't think that's that crazy. We'll give away a free Stump the Spread hoodie to one random commenter on this video. So definitely get down there in the comments. Let me know anything you're thinking about the sports world or anything in general today, so you'll be eligible for that giveaway if we can make it to 500 likes on this video. So make sure you stay tuned for tomorrow's video as well. If we make it to 500 likes, we will be giving away that hoodie in tomorrow's video. That's why I will announce the winner. So definitely make sure you're not missing out on that. Doesn't take a whole lot to slam that like button. Also, those comments, I read and answer every comment I get. Make sure you're checking the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks. You might want to check back a couple of times. Things can change, especially here on the NBA side. We all have had a play or two go all wrong because of some weird late scratch on some weird injury news that we didn't even see coming. So definitely keep an eye on that. But guys, let's go ahead and look at what we had go on there yesterday. Now, we are recording this one a little bit early, but things are headed in the right direction. The Celtics are up big. That's a great start. Great look in the right direction. That Nuggets game obviously hasn't started yet. Iowa, as our dog of the day, is currently winning straight up by a pretty comfortable margin over Iowa State. We'll see if they can hold on to that. That's looking good. We see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on that Thursday night football game are winning right now. That's good. We need Bucky Irving to get some work done there in the receiving game. We need Sadiq Bey to continue putting up some buckets. He's been playing pretty well, and the Pelicans are having a pretty good time in that one. They're up by 3 so far as underdogs there in the second quarter against Portland. So still a lot cooking. None of that has come home to roost yet. So we'll go ahead and dive in. I'll have that updated here on the screen by the time you actually see this video. You'll see how we did. Hopefully we can have a nice night. Also looking like potential for a very nice night over there on the premium side as well. We'll recap all that here in a bit, but let's get into the action here. First up, we're looking at the Chicago Bulls going on the road here, taking the Hornets in a pretty nice Friday slate of NBA action. And the Bulls, they come into this game, I mean, they're not really struggling too much, I wouldn't say. Only a casual 7 losses in a row. They just came up very short, a 123-91 loss there against the Golden State Warriors, and you can make some excuses for that if the Warriors were healthy, but they were not healthy. Jimmy Butler did play in that game and had 19 points. He looked pretty good, but no Steph Curry in that game, no Draymond Green in that game, and you're still losing to the Warriors by like 30. That is not a good look. The Bulls, I mean, in that game, we didn't hate what we saw from Josh Giddey. Not the most efficient shooting night. Did make 3 out of 6 from long range, but 5 assists and 3 rebounds and 4 turnovers. Definitely not up to the level that he has normally been at this season. Apparently, the return of Kobe White is what has thrown this team off. That makes no sense to me, but it has kind of, their struggles have kind of coincided here with him coming back. Buzelis has played well in that game. 25 minutes, 16 points, 7 of 12 from the field. Can't really ask somebody his age to be that much better. He was a minus 30, though, on the plus-minus side. So not a lot of stuff going right for the Bulls in that game. They come into this one looking a little bit banged up still. You've got to cut them a little bit of slack. They have been dealing with a lot of injuries. And Coro being out, that's a pretty big deal for them. He's dealing with the back issue. Sounds like he will play in this game. He's probable. Kobe White, he's on the injury report as well, listed as probable due to right calf tightness. We see Trey Jones, Dosunmu, Kevin Huerter, and Jalen Smith all on the injury report as well. Pretty much the whole team. Trey Jones with that ankle issue is expected to play, so sounds like he's going to be out there. Dosunmu with a thumb issue is officially ruled out. Kevin Huerter officially ruled out as well with that thigh, and Jalen Smith dealing with a hamstring issue is probable for this game. So overall, they're not as banged up as this injury report and all the red writing on it would make you think. So we'll see what they can do here going on the road to take on the Charlotte Hornets. They are 7-17 on the season. They're coming off a 115-106 loss there against the Nuggets. At least they kept it fairly competitive, but obviously not a game they're going to win all that often. In that game, guys, we saw Miles Bridges. He had a decent showing. He was 0 of 6 from 3, but 10 of 19 from the field and had 24 points. No LaMelo Ball in that game. Concanupple, not an amazing game. 14 points, 2 of 10 from 3. Not his best effort. Brandon Miller being back is definitely a boost for this team, but he was only 5 of 19 from the field for 17 points in that loss. The bench continues to look very, very bad for this team. They didn't shoot the ball particularly well from 3. They did do a really good job on the boards, but obviously they had no answer out there for Jokic or Murray, and that's going to sink you anytime you play the Denver Nuggets. So we'll see what the Hornets can do in this one. Injuries continue to be a problem for them. No LaMelo Ball in this game. Is that a confirmed out? I believe it is. Yes, he will not play due to that ankle issue. Trey Mann, Colin Sexton, also on the injury report. Trey Mann, knee issue, he is officially out. Colin Sexton, quadricep issue, he is officially out as well. So the Bulls are actually the more healthy team in this one, and that's part of why the Hornets are getting 3.5 points at home. We've got a total of 234.5 in this game. The Bulls are 4-8 against the spread on the road this season. They're 12-11 to the under. The Hornets are 7-5 against the spread at home this season. They are 16-8 to the under. That's actually an NBA best to the under. So right off the bat here, guys, I do think under 234.5 is very, very reasonable in this game. Not trying to like drown ourselves in unders here on the NBA this season, but I do think this is a good spot to definitely look at an underplay. In terms of a side, I will be angling there a bit towards the Charlotte Hornets getting 3.5 points here playing at home, especially if it's going to be an under game. That makes you think it's going to be a little bit closer of a competition. So I do think taking the points and the home team can't be too far wrong in this one. We've got some props we like for this game as well, and I do think Miles Bridges under 2.5 threes made in this one at -144 is a very good value. He's been ice cold from deep, hasn't made 3 threes in a game all the way since back on November 26th. I know that the Bulls defense is not elite, but he's been missing wide open shots, so that might not even matter, and I don't think how many threes he makes really is going to significantly impact the Hornets' ability to cover in this game. So these might look like they're a little bit contradictory to take the Hornets and take an under here on Bridges' 3-point shooting, but his 3-point shooting is not why he's good. That's not why he's good. So I think that one's a very solid value. On the other side, I will take Josh Giddey over 1.5 threes made at -136. He's been over this number 7 of his last 10 games. That 3-point shot has looked significantly improved this season. The last time he faced Charlotte, he made 3 out of 7 from deep, so I don't see any reason to believe he can't do something similar here, playing on the road, and that's how the last game was. The last game was in Charlotte, and he looked pretty good in that one. On the Hornets side, I'll take Concanopoulos here over 23.5 points plus rebounds at -128. He's had a very good season in general. No LaMelo Ball out there, so they're going to need more shooting from him. Maybe even need a little bit more playmaking. Also, the rebounding aspect can be nice. He had 5 boards the last time these two teams faced each other, and there's always the chance he gets over this number just in terms of points. It's not like the Bulls are a defensive juggernaut. Next on the docket here, we're looking at the Atlanta Hawks going on the road to take on the Detroit Pistons. Now, the Hawks, they came into this season with a lot of hype. They're 14-11. They have had Trae Young out for most of the season, so that hasn't been super helpful. They have lost 3 out of their last 4, but they blew out Washington 131-116 their last time on the floor, so not a bad look. In that game, all the things you kind of would expect to happen in a Hawks blowout happened. Jalen Johnson played really, really well, had 30 points, 21 from Okongwu, 17 from Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Dyson Daniels had 0 steals in that game, weird enough, but also played pretty well. 3 assists, 6 rebounds, and 12 points despite a terrible shooting night. So we'll see if he can do a little bit better offensively, but overall not a bad day. Kennard played well off the bench, and just in general they played well. Only 14 free throws in this game, but a very, very dominant day there on the boards, albeit against a tanking Wizards team, but still got to give the Hawks a little bit of credit where credit is due. Now, their injury report for this game, obviously, Trae Young not going to be back yet. It sounds like he is making progress in the right direction. Porzingis probably going to be, is officially ruled out for this game due to an illness. I don't know what the illness is. You can get on the internet and find a lot of wild theories about what has happened to Porzingis with this whole illness that he got, mid-year last year for the Celtics, and then just has not really been able to shake it for the rest of his life. But it's not been great. Other than him, though, they are healthy and ready to go. So looking at their opponent here, we'll see what they can do against the Pistons. Detroit's been excellent this year, 19-5 overall. They've won 4 out of their last 5 games. The only loss in there was a weird loss against the Bucks, and they got that one right the second time around, winning 124-112 over Milwaukee, and that was their last game. Now, the Pistons were at home for that one, so well played. They'll be at home for this one also. There was no Giannis in that game, so you would think it would be a pretty comfortable win. Duncan Robinson, not a great night from him, only 1 of 6 from 3, but Cade, 8 of 18 from the field, 23 points. He played well, and he didn't have to go that nuts because Isaiah Stewart had a 19-piece. Jalen Duren had 16 very efficient points. Osar Thompson went 6 of 7 from the field. Very, very good work there. A couple 3 double-digit scores off the bench. Jaden Ivey, we're seeing those minutes start to ratchet up a little bit. He was also 3 of 3 from distance. Karis LeVert putting in very good work. 11 points from him off the bench. Overall, just a very, very solid performance there from the Pistons. So nothing to really feel bad about there. They're, putting their name among the elite teams in the East, and they're very healthy coming into this game as well. Cade, Duncan Robinson, Osar Thompson, Tobias Harris, Jalen Duren, all healthy and ready to go. And that bench starting to look pretty scary. When your bench is Jaden Ivey, Karis LeVert, Javonte Green, Ronald Holland, and Isaiah Stewart, that's a pretty scary bench. So a lot to like right now for the Detroit Pistons, and the odds makers like them too. They are 6.5 point favorites in this game. We've got a total of 231.5. Atlanta, though, they are 10-5 against the spread on the road this season. They've been road warriors. They're 14-11 to the over. Detroit, they're a 500 against the spread team at home. They're 13-10-1 to the over. So given those trends, if you want to take a little look at over 231.5 in this game, I don't have a problem with that. I don't think it's an amazing play necessarily, but I do think it is reasonable to consider. In terms of a side, I'm actually going to be leaning a little bit towards the Hawks here, getting 6.5 points. That's a lot of points for a very good Atlanta team. Do I think the Pistons will lose this game straight up? Necessarily not for sure, but I do think this could end up being a 1 or 2 possession game down the stretch. And if you're offering me 6.5 points in a situation like that, I would be a fool not to take this. So definitely give me the Hawks here as a small lean. And I've also got a couple player props that I like for this game as well. And I like Dyson Daniels, first of all, over here, over 17.5 points plus boards at -114. It's a bounce back spot offensively. He had a pretty rough game shooting the ball his last time out. He's been over this number in 8 of his last 10 games. The last time these two teams faced each other, he comfortably got over this number. When you play with as much energy as he plays with on both ends of the floor, good things just tend to happen to you, whether it's getting rebounds or scoring or a combination of both, which is what I think will get us over this number. Also, on the Atlanta Hawks side, guys, I'll take Jalen Johnson over 23.5 points here at -116. He's been over this number 4 out of his last 5 games. The Hawks really need his scoring. The last time he faced the Pistons, he put up 25 on some very normal shooting numbers. Nothing too special in there. And even though that came in a loss, I think there's every reason to expect something similar in this game, win or lose here for Atlanta. Hey guys, jump in here with a quick shout out to the sponsor of today and every day's video. And you know it already, I'm sure. It's stumpthespread.com. Make sure you guys are clicking the link in the description or typing stumpthespread.com into your browser choice to get over there and check out all the great stuff that's offered over there from Stump the Spread. Right now at Stump the Spread, premium members are getting daily NBA, NHL, UFC, NFL, college football, and college basketball picks. And it looks like we're going to be coming off a pretty hot day over there. Already a staggering maybe not staggering, but a very, very nice 3-0 day over there on the NHL side on Wednesday. So that was a nice little win there to put on the board. Overall, it wasn't a bad day at all, going 4-3 overall on December 10th. So some good stuff in there and some good stuff working today already. The under is looking very, very live in that Thursday night football game. Green Bay +1 on the college basketball side already came through. A full 5 games posted over there on the NHL side. I believe the Lightning may have already won as well. They were up 6-2 in the third period, so that was looking very, very solid. Got a bunch of NBA player props. Jaylen Brown, for instance, was off to a blistering start. I think he went 5 of 5 from the field to start the game, so looking very, very live to get to over 29.5 points in that game, and especially things getting a little bit closer there is good. I was worried it was going to turn into a blowout and he wouldn't get his numbers because he wasn't going to get his minutes, but we'll see what happens. A lot of great action over there on the premium side. You got to get over there and get in on that if you're a serious sports bettor, guys. It's some of the best value you can get in the entire sports betting space. Tons and tons of work from an entire team of experienced cappers working together brings you those premium picks every single day. A crazy amount of analytics go into making those projections, a ton of work. You definitely don't want to miss out on those. Some of the best value in the sports betting arena. So definitely get over there, check that out. There's also free stuff over there. The free picks tab always has something in there, something nice cooking for you every single day. Absolutely for free. We've got our free to use bet size calculator. Make sure you're not blowing your whole bankroll on 1 or 2 bad plays or bad days. And you got to get over there and get on that free email list, guys. That's a fantastic resource. Every single day, there'll be at least one free pick in those emails straight to your inbox. Lots of great information on niche sports betting like golf, NASCAR, tennis. UFC is a big one that's always covered in these emails. And I know there's a big UFC event coming up right around the corner, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. Not a big UFC guy, but we have a UFC expert over there at stumpthespread.com, covers every single fight. So certainly want to make sure you're not missing out on any of that great value. And it's absolutely free. It's really easy to sign up. There's massive write-ups every single week on NFL. Tons of touchdown props cashed on week 13. Week 14 wasn't quite as good, but week 13, tons and tons of NFL touchdown props cashed. That's what you've been seeing on the screen here for a bit. So it's really easy to sign up for that email list. Just go to stumpthespread.com. You can click the link in the description. You can type stumpthespread.com into your browser choice. Either one's going to take you to the same place. Click that little green login button at the top right-hand corner of your screen. That's going to prompt you to set up a free account. All they're going to ask you for is your name and your email address. That is it. You'll get one email straight to your inbox with all that great information every single day. Also, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from us over here on YouTube every single day, click that little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get their name on screen in every single video, just as a small token of my appreciation. But as a big token of my appreciation, we give away a Stump the Spread hoodie here to one random YouTube channel member every single week. Every single Monday, we put the name of every YouTube channel member on a big wheel. We spin that wheel live on the video, and whoever it lands on gets a Stump the Spread hoodie mailed straight to their address of choice. So definitely make sure you're not missing out on that. And also, additional reminder, if this video gets to 500 likes, we will be giving away a Stump the Spread hoodie to one random person who commented on this video. So definitely make sure you're getting down in the comments. Would love to be giving away a bunch of hoodies here coming up to Christmas time. That would make my Christmas season. That would be fantastic. So let's go ahead and dive back in though. We've got a ton more games to cover here on a very busy NBA slate, and then we've got some college basketball to look at as well. And next up, we're going to look at the Indiana Pacers as they go on the road to take on the Philadelphia 76ers. The Pacers come into this game. Obviously, they haven't had the best time this season. 6-18 overall, tons of injuries. Obviously, no Halliburton this season, but they have won their last two in a row, taking down the Bulls and the Kings. They won in Chicago, then came home and beat Sacramento there in Indiana. So a good look there from the Pacers. In that game, some very, very solid production from Siakam as usual. He's been very solid this season. 23 from him, 28 from Nembhard, 25 there from Mathurin. Good work off the bench there from Jarris Walker. He played well. TJ McConnell, not a great night shooting the ball, but as a team, they made 40% from three, did a great job getting to the free throw line, and they won this game despite getting out-rebounded by 10. So some very solid work there by the Pacers. Obviously, this has not been the easiest season ever for them, but they've been making it happen, and they come into this game relatively healthy. Ben Shepherd being out does not really move the needle for me too much. His absence doesn't really freak me out. Now, when will we actually see Obi Toppin back? Really not a lot of idea when that's going to happen. Going to be a bit. Obviously, they're not going to be rushing anybody back for the Pacers this season, but overall, they're healthy for what we're used to seeing them have on the court on a night-to-night basis. So we'll see what they can do here as they go on the road, headed to Philly to take on the 76ers, who are 13-10 on the season. They had won 3 in a row before falling there 112-108 against the Lakers. The 76ers were okay in that game, I suppose. That was one of the games we saw Embiid played 30 minutes, which was pretty shocking. Maybe even more shocking, he went 4 of 21 from the field, 0 of 6 from 3, made all 8 of his free throws, but it's starting to look real bad out there for Embiid. I don't really know what the plan for this squad long-term is, but Embiid and Paul George playing a lot of minutes should not be part of that plan because they're actually looking much better when those guys are on the sideline. We'll see what happens. They've obviously missed tons of time with injury. Maybe they need time to work themselves back into the flow of things, but it doesn't look good right now. What we need to see more of is Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe out there doing their thing. That's looked really good. Jared McCain could use more minutes. I don't mind more Andre Drummond minutes, to be honest. He's been pretty productive out there. So we'll see what iteration of the 76ers we're going to get for this game. Looking at the injury report here, we do see Maxey on there. We see Kelly Oubre Jr. That's been a big problem, his absence. He's on there. And Embiid, as always, is on there. Now, Maxey, he's probable due to an illness. This kid's going to play. This kid plays. That's what he does. Maxey goes out there and balls every single night. You do not have to worry about his availability. Kelly Oubre, he's going to be out for this game. We'll see. It appears that maybe he's, starting to get semi-close to back, but yeah, it doesn't seem like there's really any chance he plays in this one. Joel Embiid, he's listed as probable due to left knee injury management, of course. We'll see if he plays. Honestly, him playing, I think, is a net negative for the 76ers, but maybe that's not true. Maybe I'm being a little bit too harsh. So looking at the numbers, guys, the odds makers like the 76ers here quite a bit. They're getting 7.5 points at home. We've got a total of 229.5. The Pacers are 5-6 against the spread on the road. They're 15-9 to the under. The 76ers are 6-8 against the spread at home. They're 12-11 to the under. Given that Embiid is going to play in this game, that tends to slow the pace of play down quite a bit, and that makes me lean towards under 229.5 in this spot. Not a massive fan of this. It's not going to go in the pinned comment, but I do think it's at least worth mentioning since the trends also back it up. In terms of a side, I like the Pacers here quite a bit, get 7.5 points. I think this will be a pretty close game. Really, the only thing that scares me too much is, it is a big bounce back spot for Embiid. I don't know if he really has bounce backs in the tank, and, Maxey probably going to play, but maybe he won't have his typical 100 out of 10 energy levels if he is dealing with an illness. So I think the Pacers could potentially find a way to keep this one pretty close. And this is an underdog that I definitely think has some value. Rolling right along here, guys. We're looking at the Cleveland Cavaliers heading to Washington to take on the Wizards. The Cavaliers have actually had a pretty down year by the standards they had, kind of set for themselves coming into the season. They're only 14-11. They're coming off a 99-94 pretty unacceptable loss there against the Golden State Warriors. I know they're not at full strength necessarily, but they're not that far off, to be honest, and you can't be losing to the skeleton squad there for the Warriors. It was just not a good look. DeAndre Hunter, a terrible game, 6 points in 33 minutes. Donovan Mitchell just going out there and putting up big numbers, 7 of 14 from 3, 29 points in 37 minutes for him. Garland actually played okay, but didn't shoot the ball particularly well in that game. Once again, trade rumors starting to swirl around him, unless the Cleveland would want to move somebody like Donovan Mitchell. That seems insane to me, so we'll see what happens. The bench also looked terrible, so just a lot of problems right now for the Cavaliers. If you'd have told me there were going to be games where Cleveland only scored 94 points this year, I would have been a little bit shocked. They're very clearly missing guys like Jarrett Allen and Sam Merrill, and Sam Merrill has officially been ruled out for this game. Jarrett Allen, dealing with his finger issue still, is also confirmed out. So they won't be at full strength here, heading to Washington, taking the Wizards, one of the worst teams, maybe the worst team in the NBA. They're coming off a 131-116 loss there against the Hawks, and at 3-19 on the year, you can really seriously question if this team is trying to win games. It feels like they are not. In that loss, CJ McCollum continues to put up good numbers, really trying to audition to get himself moved to an actual basketball team. That has not worked yet. We'll see if it works down the stretch. Kyson George, 15 points there in 36 minutes. Nothing too special there. Marvin Bagley's had a couple good games, but only 6 points in his 19 minutes in that one. And this team's also been banged up. I just don't have a lot of crazy great stuff to say about them. You managed to lose by 15 in a game. You shot 45% from 3, 17 of 38 from 3, and you lose by 15. You also get out-rebounded 26-45. So, yeah, the Wizards are not trying to win. That's not really a secret. They're very banged up coming into this game. Lots and lots of guys probably going to miss this one. We'll run through all of them anyway, but they're probably all going to be out. Kulabe, going to be out for a while. Middleton, with that knee issue, will not play. Alex Sarthai will not play. And Corey Kispert, yeah, he's going to be out for a while with that broken thumb. So, not a full-strength Wizards team. They are getting 14.5 points in this game. We've got a total of 242.5. Cleveland's 4-6 against the spread on the road this season. They're 14-11 to the under. Washington's 2-8 against the spread at home this year. They're 14-8 to the over. I think the Cavaliers probably use this as a big get-right spot and blow out the Wizards here by 20 plus. I don't think this is going to be a competitive game really at any point. Obviously, the Wizards do pick some weird spots and play hard, and you can't really tell often when those spots are going to come, but I think Cleveland absolutely dominates in this one and gets a blowout win and cover. Will it go in the pinned comment? Unlikely, but Washington's so bad against the spread at home this year, you have to at least consider it. Rolling right along here, we're looking at the Utah Jazz heading to Memphis to take on the Grizzlies. The Jazz are 8-15 on the season, and given this is supposed to be a tanking team, they're maybe not quite bad enough to tank, or maybe they're not quite good enough at tanking. Just seems like a pretty well put together bunch, and they have a lot of talent on the roster. They weren't able to keep things close against the Thunder their last time out, but nobody can keep things close against the Thunder. That being said, they are fresh off of blowouts against the Thunder and the Knicks, so haven't exactly been killing it. They're about to take on a Memphis team that isn't exactly all that special. In that blowout loss against the Thunder, we did like some of what we saw. I mean, there was no Markkanen in that game, so they really weren't putting in their best effort. Filipowski, though, 21 points, 10 rebounds. Keep in mind this kid is still very, very young, showing some pretty decent skill. Also knocked down a 3 in that game, so some positives, some small positives. Ace Bailey, not looking like they exactly got maybe the most talented player in this year's draft, but we'll see what happens. Taylor Hendricks putting up a 20-piece off the bench in 25 minutes. That's got to at least be a little bit of a good feeling. And Walter Clayton Jr. has been balling out there. He put up 20 points in 29 minutes on very efficient shooting. Also had 9 assists. Maybe that ends up being a bigger pickup there than Ace Bailey, but we'll see what happens. Obviously, Utah not heading anywhere important this season. We'll see what they do around the trade deadline, but they are fully healthy and rested and ready to go for this one as they head to Memphis to take on the Grizzlies, who are not going to be fully healthy, although they've been playing better recently, winning 5 out of 6. Their last time out was a 119-96 win there over the Trailblazers, but Zach Edey going to be out for, at very, very minimum 4 weeks. It's going to be longer than that. A stress reaction in his left ankle, turns out humans that big usually aren't that durable. So we'll see what goes on in this one. In that win over Portland, Santi Aldama actually led the team with 22 points. I don't know what happened to Jaren Jackson Jr. this season, but he's just disappeared. He had 6 points in 24 minutes. it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Cedric Howard played well. Jalen Wells played okay. Zach Edey played well in that game. Santi Aldama obviously balled out. Jock Landale played well. KCP put up a 16-piece in that game, and Cam Spencer continues to play well. So there are reasons for optimism here for the Grizzlies, but losing Zach Edey is a big problem. Ja Morant is also probably not going to play in this game, but he has been upgraded to questionable, so it sounds like there's a chance that he makes his return for this one. Will that suddenly turn things around for the Grizzlies, who are 11-13 on the season? Feels like a big ask. Feels like the big ask. It's been a long time since Ja Morant's been in the news for anything positive. So we'll see what happens. The Grizzlies are 6.5-point favorites in this game playing at home. We've got a total of 238.5. Normally, this would be a spot where we'd want to back Utah getting these points, but they're only 3-7 against spread on the road. They are 14-9 to the over. Memphis is 6-6 against spread at home. They are 16-8 to the under. I'm still going to lean just a bit towards the Jazz in this one, but this won't be making the pinned comment or anything like that. Obviously, whether or not Ja plays is a big difference maker, and I just don't have enough faith in the Jazz here. They've been pretty bad on the road this season. Next on the docket, guys, we're looking at the Brooklyn Nets going on the road to take on the Dallas Mavericks. Now, the Nets actually come into this game fresh off a win. It was a 119-101 win there over the Pelicans, so let's not freak out too much. But they have won 3 out of their last 4. Those wins are against the Pelicans, Bulls, and Hornets, and the loss was to the Jazz, so let's not drastically overreact here. In that win over the Pelicans, it kind of followed the formula you would expect for a Brooklyn Nets win. Michael Porter Jr., 14 of 23, 5 of 10 from 3, 35 points. Clowney, Claxton, and Terrence Mann all chipped in there. Day'Ron Sharpe, 16 points off the bench. They shot 40% from 3. They did a good job on the boards. They come away with the win, albeit against a pretty bad Pelicans team. So well played there by the Nets, but at 6-17 on the season, they're not headed anywhere very important. They're fully healthy, given who we're used to seeing them have on a nightly basis coming into this game. So we'll see what they can do. They're going on the road to take on a suddenly resurgent Dallas Mavericks team. The Mavs are 9-16 on the season, but they've won 4 out of their last 5 games, with the only loss coming there against the Thunder. They're fresh off a 122-109 win there over the Houston Rockets, so that was a big win, and Anthony Davis played great in that game. He had 29 points. He was 14 of 19 from the field. I mean, Cooper Flagg played well, also knocked down a 3 in that game. He had 19 points. Ryan Nembhard's been a big find for this team, kind of off the scrap heap. Brandon Williams put up 22 points in 23 minutes off the bench. A very good day just across the board there from Dallas. They win this game despite only making 7 out of 19 threes. They do a mediocre job on the boards, but when Anthony Davis plays like that, this team looks completely different. So we'll see what they can do at home in this one. They're pretty much fully healthy for this game. Nembhard, Cooper, Flagg, PJ Washington, Anthony Davis all ready to go. We've become so accustomed to seeing Daniel Gafford missing time that we almost missed that he was going to be on there. He's doubtful for this game. Don't expect him to play. I think we're going to see more Dwight Powell minutes in this game, and maybe a little bit more of the Mavericks playing a bit small, which I don't think is the end of the world here. So looking at the numbers, the Mavs are 7.5-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 222.5. Brooklyn's 6-4-1 against spread on the road. They are 14-9 to the under. Dallas is 7-8 against the spread at home. They are 15-10 to the under. I don't think I can justify taking under 222.5. That's just too small of a number, but the trends are pointing that way, so if you wanted to take it, I can't say that you're crazy. In terms of a side, I think the odds makers are telling us we got to take the Mavericks here at -7.5. With Anthony Davis out there and playing well, I think he slots in better at center than at power forward anyway. I like what I'm seeing from Nembhard. I like what I'm seeing from PJ Washington. Him being back is a big deal. Give me the Mavericks here at -7.5, and I think this play actually has a good amount of value. In our last game of the NBA slate, before we hop over and look at some college basketball action, we're going to be taking a glance at the Minnesota Timberwolves going on the road to take on the Golden State Warriors. Now, the Timberwolves, they're 15-9 on the season, so that looks okay. But when you take a closer look at how things have gone, it's a little bit concerning. They're fresh off a 108-105 loss there against the Suns. A lot of their wins have not exactly been against premium opponents, and they don't really look like that great of a team. They have a lot of depth issues. Anthony Edwards has been a little bit uneven in terms of his performances. I say that he's coming off a 40-piece, but that was a 40-piece in a loss. Julius Randle's been all over the place as well, which is kind of what you expect from him, but after that, the depth just kind of disappears for this team. Dante DiVincenzo's having a disappointing season. He's coming off a 1-of-7 night where he scored 2 points in 27 minutes. Jaden McDaniels also had a terrible shooting night and hasn't been great offensively. Naz Reid is their only scoring option off the bench, and he had 6 points in 30 minutes there against the Suns. He couldn't throw it in the ocean. Bones Highland playing real minutes, had 14 points in 16 minutes there, and they needed every single one of those. So maybe he gets a little bit more run here, but it is just not looking great for the Timberwolves right now. They do come into this game relatively healthy-ish, but the big problem is you see Anthony Edwards on the injury report. He's questionable due to right foot soreness. I'm not really sure if he's going to play or not. Given what the number looks like, I kind of think that he's leaning towards sitting out this game, which would be obviously a big deal. Mike Conley is out as well, so yeah, could be a lot more Bones Highland minutes in this one. We'll have to wait until we get confirmation there on Anthony Edwards' injury status. So we'll see what the Timberwolves can do. They're going on the road to take on the Golden State Warriors, who are 13-12 on the season. They've had some injuries, kind of what you would expect from a team that's as old as the Warriors are, but they've found some new hope, found some new life here in back-to-back wins, and we saw kind of unlikely guys popping off to help get them those wins. We got a monster game there from Quentin Post in that one. He had 19 points. Jimmy Butler had 19 points. Pat Spencer has come kind of out of nowhere to really give this team a huge shot in the arm. He had 12 points in 27 minutes, kind of a down night given what we've seen from him, but 12 points, 5 boards, 6 assists, a steal, not a bad day for him. We saw Pajemski coming off the bench, finally having a breakout shooting night. Let's keep in mind this is all against the Chicago Bulls, but he had 21 points in his 29 minutes and shot the ball well from the field. So all things they definitely needed. D'Anthony Melton coming back is a big deal for this team also. They really just need to get healthy. Kuminga getting healthy, DNPs. Something has to be done about that situation. That is turning into an absolute unmitigated disaster right now. But the Warriors will have Steph back for this game. That's a huge, huge boost. And a big part of why this number is where it's at. Draymond Green and Al Horford, though, both on the injury report, and it's not looking great. Draymond out for personal reasons. I'm not sure what he has going on. If you know, let me know down there in the comments what Draymond has going on that's keeping him out of this game. And Al Horford dealing with his back issue also will not play. So the Warriors are going to be a little bit thin there at center. Quentin Post is ready to go, and we like the way he's shooting the ball. Trace Jackson-Davis will also likely be getting minutes. He's dealing with a knee issue, but he is probable. So it sounds like he will be out there and will be ready to go. So we'll see what happens in this one. The Warriors are 4.5-point favorites at home, a total of 226.5 in this game. Minnesota's 4-8 against the spread on the road this year. Yikes. They are a 500 over-under team. The Warriors are 6-4 against the spread at home. They're 14-11 to the over. The Warriors being 4.5-point favorites in this game makes me think that Anthony Edwards isn't playing. Maybe he is, but even if he does play, I like the Warriors here minus 4.5 because I just like the Warriors bench so much more than I like that Timberwolves bench. I know the Warriors are going to be lacking size in this game. I don't think that really matters. I think you can play Rudy Gobert off the floor to some extent. I know that's not what will actually happen in a regular season game, but you can make him being out there a big detriment to your team. So give me the Warriors here minus 4.5, and I think there's some value on this one. Maybe we just take it on the money line, but I do think Golden State wins this game. Now, guys, hopping over to look at a pretty short men's college basketball slate here on Friday. We've got 5 games we're going to take a look at, though, and first up, we've got the Army Black Knights going on the road here to take on the UMBC Retrievers. Now, Army, they're 4-7 on the year, not exactly killing it. They are coming off a Glaudier win there. I don't think that's a Division I team, but they've been struggling generally speaking this season, especially having a hard time at any sort of step-up spot. So it hasn't been a great season. Ryan Curry leads this team with 13.5 points per game. They're 301st in the nation in points per game. They're not a very good defensive team either. Not a lot of success in step-up spots. Now, does this matchup count as a step-up spot? Maybe. We'll see what happens. UMBC, they're 6-4 on the year. They're coming off a loss against Buffalo, albeit a 4-point loss. They beat Bucknell. They played a very real game there against Georgetown, eventually losing by 9, but having their chances in that game. They played a very solid game there against Dayton, eventually losing that one by 6, but against a real team there, keeping it very competitive against Dayton. They didn't keep things close against George Washington, but overall, I've liked a lot of what I've seen from the UMBC Retrievers this season. King is leading the way for them, 14.8 points per game. No real major leading. Like, this team kind of does it by committee. They're 250th in the nation in offense, but they play some very solid defense. They're not a terrible team on the boards either. So a lot to feel good about for UMBC coming into this game. They are 7.5-point favorites. We've got a total of 145.5 in this one. Army's 6-3 against the spread this year. They're also 6-3 to the over. UMBC's a 500 against the spread team. They're 5-3 to the under, but I'm not going to let that stop me here from taking UMBC. I'm not liking what I'm seeing from the Black Knights this year. They're just not having a very good season. I think we see the Retrievers probably come with a pretty easy win and cover in this one. Next on the docket, we've got the Missouri State Bears going on the road to take on the Xavier Musketeers. Now, Missouri State, I guess they got off to a good start winning their first 2 games of the year against some no-name teams, but then they lost to Alabama State, lost to UT Arlington. They did beat UT Rio Grande, but then lost against Long Island, beat Northeastern State, and then got obliterated there at Tulsa. This is not a team that's honestly looked very good this season. Keith Palek III, 16.8 points per game. Great. You're shooting 43% from the field. Your team is averaging the 178th most points per game in the NCAA this season. I just don't have a lot of amazing things to say about this team. In that loss against Tulsa, a very high-scoring competition, Missouri State was down by 16 at halftime, despite shooting 50% from the field, or 50% from distance and nearly 50% from the field in that game. They got obliterated on the boards. And Tulsa's not all that great. They're definitely not as high profile of a team as the Xavier Musketeers. They come into this game 7-3 on the season, winners of 4 in a row, including taking down West Virginia and Cincinnati. They have turned around a season. They also lost to Georgia by 1. Couldn't keep things close against Iowa. They also lost to Santa Clara, but this team has been really decent this year. Maybe not, living up to the expectations of Xavier teams of old or whatever, but they have a legit leading scorer here in Trey Carroll. He's putting up 17.5 points per game, shooting nearly 50% from the field. They're a very decent rebounding team. Their defense is good as well. I have a lot of good stuff to say here about Xavier, and that's why they're huge favorites. They're 17.5 point favorites in this game. We've got a total of 147.5. Missouri State is 1-4 against the spread this season. They're 3-2 to the under. Xavier's 5-5 against the spread. They're 6-4 to the over. I'm going to be leaning towards the favorite at home in this one also, guys. Give me Xavier to get this one by 20-plus points. I don't think they're going to have any trouble here. I think they're going to completely dominate the boards, and if Missouri State couldn't keep things within 20 against Tulsa, I definitely don't think they're going to keep things within 20 here against the Musketeers. Rounding into the home stretch, we're looking at by far, the biggest college basketball game on the slate. We've got the Texas Longhorns going on the road to take on the number 5 UConn Huskies. Now, Texas, they come into this game fresh off a blowout win over Southern, but they've had some ups and downs this year. They lost to Duke by 15 to open their season. They've lost to Arizona State. They beat NC State 102 to 97 in an absolute barn burner. Lost to Virginia. We'll see what they can do. This is obviously a clear step-up spot. It's going to be the best team they've played this year besides Duke, and they did lose that one by 15. So there are a few things to be excited about, I guess, for this squad. They went out and got a lot of overseas talent for this season. It's equated to a lot of offense. They're 22nd in the nation, putting up nearly 90 points per game. Their assist numbers are also excellent. Their defensive numbers haven't looked amazing, especially in step-up games. That is a bit of a concern, and not putting up great assist numbers. You would think a great offense would equate to a lot of fantastic ball movement. That just has not been the case. So we'll see what they can do here going on the road. Can be a little bit of a tough environment. They're playing in Hartford, Connecticut, to take on the Huskies, who are 9-1 on the season. Their lone losses here came against Arizona by 4 points. To an Arizona team that might be one of the best teams. Is one of the best teams in the nation. So we'll see what they can do here. They're coming off a massive win there over Florida, a 77-73 dogfight of a win. They do take care of business in that one, though, in the Jimmy V Classic. They shot 44% from 3 in that game, survived getting crushed on the boards to come away with the win. We do see Solo Ball put up 19 points on okay but not great shooting. Not necessarily a banner day there from the Huskies in general. You can't get blown out on the boards like that and expect to have a crazy amount of success. This team is led by Solo Ball with his 15 points per game. They're not putting up super gaudy offensive numbers, but their defense is elite. Their rebounding is my biggest concern for them down the stretch this season. Now, looking at the numbers, the Huskies are 12.5 point favorites at home. We've got a total of 146.5. Texas is 5-4 against the spread. They're 6-3 to the over. UConn's 4-6 against the spread. They are 6-4 to the under. I'm really leaning towards Texas here a little bit, getting 12.5 points. This isn't going to go in the pinned comment, but I do think the underdog is the way you want to go in this one. I think the Longhorns can find a way to keep this to 10-ish points and keep from getting blown out. If they can rebound the way we've seen them rebound at different points this season, that would really put them in great shape in this game. They've got some guys that are going to score against anybody in the nation, so I do think the Longhorns can find a way to keep this game very competitive. Last but not least, guys, we're looking at the East Texas A&M Lions going on the road to take on the McNeese Cowboys. East Texas A&M, guys, they're 5-4 on the season. They are coming off a win over Central Arkansas. They played a semi-competitive game there against UConn, which was very impressive. Blew out Army, beat FDU, lost to Rice, lost to Hawaii, lost to New Mexico, getting off to a rough start to their season, but they've seemingly turned things around here a little bit. This team can actually score a little bit. Their assist numbers are fantastic. The way they run this offense, the way they move the ball is very, very respectable. The rebounding can be a little bit iffy sometimes. I'm not acting like this is one of the elite teams in the nation, but I'm not hating what I'm seeing from the Lions so far this season. They're going on the road to take on the Cowboys here. They're 8-2 on the year. They're having a pretty decent time. They've won 2 in a row, taking down Rhode Island and Northwestern State, but Northwestern State, let's not get too carried away about that, and their win over Rhode Island was by 2 points, a 66-64 rock fight of a game. This is not the McNeese Cowboys of old that were an offensive juggernaut. This team does not really score in bunches like they used to. They shot 6 of 21 from 3 in that win, only 40% from the field in general, only had 3 guys score in double digits. Didn't do a lot of great stuff. They were even on the boards, and I just really haven't seen the dominate kind of mentality, the dominate just ability from McNeese like we've seen in years past. Their offensive numbers for the year look okay, but let's take into account they've played 2 non-Division I teams, scoring 127 and 132 in those games respectively. So we'll see what they can do here. They are playing at home. They're 18.5 point favorites. We've got a total of 139.5. East Texas A&M has been drastically undervalued by the odds makers all year long. They are 6-1 against the spread this year. They're 4-3 to the under. McNeese is 4-2-1 against the spread. They are 5-2 to the under. First up, I like under 139.5 in this game quite a bit. I don't think we're going to see any sort of crazy offensive night from either one of these teams. Both are going to play some defense in this spot, but that makes me like even better than the under, actually a lot better than the under. I'll take East Texas A&M here, getting almost 20 points in this game. I think they find a way to keep this very, very competitive here. Even playing on the road, I think this can be a very close competition. I could see this being a single-digit game down the stretch. Definitely not going to be a 20-point blowout. Well, guys, that's all the games we have here for today on a very, very busy Friday. Do me a huge favor and a favor to yourself and hit that like button. We get to 500 likes on this video. We'll be giving away a Stump the Spread hoodie to one random commenter. So definitely get in the comments as well. Let me know all the bets you're putting in today down there in the comments, and subscribe. If you're new around here, I really appreciate all the new subscribers. Let me know in the comments anything you're thinking about. I'm more than happy to get back to you. I appreciate everybody watching. Make sure you're getting over to stumpthespread.com, checking out all the good stuff over there. Check out all the free stuff. Get on that free email list for sure, and get in on those premium picks. Looking like we're going to be coming off a very, very hot night over there at stumpthespread.com. And we'll see you guys right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.